Alright, after Hoyoverse dropped that insane drip marketing for Ashveil yesterday, we finally get to see and break down this super cool character today. One of Ashveil's biggest strengths is his ability to unleash follow-up attacks with crazy intensity. We are talking frequency that might even outpace Feixiao, who is already famous for her follow-up attacks. On top of that, he applies a mark called bait to enemies, which is key for launching his entire kit. So, can Ashveil become the best Hunt DPS of version 4? Without wasting any time, I'm HoyoStation, and we're jumping straight into the full kit breakdown of Ashveil in version 4.1. Let's do this. Do you have a character or weapon in the game that you really want but you don't have enough stellar jades? Here is a smarter way to recharge your favorite games like Genshin Impact and honkaistarrail. Look no further than Lootbar. Lootbar is the most reliable top-up platform. It saves up to 23% for all orders compared with the official channel, and it provides an 80% off for your first purchase. It's 100% safe as you will only be using your UID. We will buy pack for 30,000 stellar jades for $42, which otherwise would have costed $50. Totally saving $7.5. We received the crystals we purchased in the less than 3 minutes. All recharges will be done through the official channel with miHoyo, which allows you to enjoy all top-up offers. Ready to level up your gaming experience? Check the link in the description to get the amazing discount. So, first up, let's talk about his skill, Flock Purge the Vile Beasts. This skill marks a selected enemy as bait, deals lightning damage equal to 300% of Ashveil's attack, and grants 1 charge. Now here's the unique part. If the target already has the bait mark, it deals additional lightning damage equal to 100% of his attack and restores 1 skill point. But the coolest part is this, guys. When no enemy on the field has the bait mark, Ashveil automatically applies bait to the enemy with the lowest HP. Also, if an enemy with bait gets hit with a killing blow, the bait mark automatically transfers to the next lowest HP enemy. So basically, enemies will always have the bait mark active. And what's even crazier, when an enemy has this mark, all enemies suffer a 40% defense reduction. In my opinion, this effect is super duper cool, guys, especially that last part, because the bait mark is always active on the field, that defense shred debuff is also permanently active. And remember, since this defense reduction acts like a passive effect and doesn't need to trigger by a specific skill, our damage output gets a permanent boost. Honestly, super duper cool. Okay, next let's discuss his ultimate, Banquet Infinite Eucharist. So far, this ultimate has a few effects. First, just like his skill, the ultimate can apply the bait mark to enemies. Second, it deals lightning damage equal to 500% of Ashveil's attack and triggers an enhanced follow-up attack from his talent 1 time, then grants 2 charges. Here's the kicker. This enhanced follow-up attack does not consume charges. Instead, for every 4 stacks of gluttony you have, Ashveil consumes them to deal extra lightning damage equal to 600%. And the wildest part to me is this. While launching the enhanced follow-up attack, if the baited enemy takes lethal damage and you have 4 or more gluttony stacks, Ashveil uses those stacks to instantly attack the next target with the new mark. Honestly, this ultimate mechanic is absolutely cracked. Ashveil can continuously launch attacks as long as we keep defeating the baited targets. So in practice, against low HP mobs, we can just keep chaining attacks thanks to this ultimate effect. So cool, right? Now we are moving to the most important part of his kit, the talent. This talent is called Rancor, Retribution in Kind. When Ashveil enters battle, he starts with 3 charges. Whenever an enemy with the bait mark is attacked by a teammate, Ashveil consumes 1 charge to launch a follow-up attack, dealing 360% lightning damage to the baited target. This also generates 1 gluttony stacks, storable up to 12 stacks. Just from the description, it's clear that this talent is going to be super duper good when paired with teammates who have high attack frequency, like follow-up attack team with Feixiao as the main DPS, using Ashveil as the sub DPS to replace Moza or March 7th Hunt. Moving on to his technique, Devour, all of some hand. This creates an area that inflicts daze on enemies within it for 10 seconds. When you enter battle by attacking a dazed enemy, all enemies take lightning damage equal to 100% of Ashveil's attack, and he gets 1 additional charge at the start of the fight. Clearly, this is useful for the opener, giving Ashveil a total of 4 charges so he can fire off up to 4 follow-up attacks right from the get-go. Plus, the daze effect is great for exploration. No need to worry about interruptions while solving puzzles or grabbing chests. Okay, this part is, in my opinion, one of the coolest parts of his kit. First trace, Villainous Path. When Ashveil uses his skill or ultimate, he gains 1 or 2 gluttony stacks. It has an extra effect. During Ashveil's follow-up attacks, every time an enemy takes lethal damage or is defeated, Ashveil gains 1 gluttony stack. This is huge for keeping up those additional attacks after his ultimate, provided the enemies on the field are dying to his follow-up attack. With this trace, stacking gluttony becomes super easy via skill, ultimate, follow-up attack, and enemy kills. Awesome, right? Second trace, Umbral Limb. When a teammate launches a follow-up attack, this trace boosts that follow-up attack damage by 80%. And if the follow-up attack is launched by Ashveil himself, he recovers 3 extra energy. This basically confirms that characters like Feixiao and Aventurine are going to benefit massively from this boost since they spam follow-up attack constantly. And remember guys, Feixiao's ultimate counts as follow-up attack damage, so she gets this buff too. As for the energy regeneration, even though it's only 3 points, because Ashveil attacks so frequently, this will add up fast and definitely speed up his ultimate rotation. Third trace, First Fang. This one is insanely strong guys. When Ashveil is on the field, the entire team's critical damage increases by 40%. On top of that, critical damage from follow-up attacks increases by another 80%. Well, isn't that crazy? Follow-up attack team damage gets a massive 120% critical damage boost for free. No duration, no conditions. This drastically increases the output of main DPS like Feixiao, far surpassing what March 7th, Moza, or even Cypher could offer. Finally, we are at the end of the kit, the EIDOLONS. E1, beware when or not in full moon. When Ashveil is on the field, damage taken by all enemies increases by 24%. This effect jumps to 36% when enemy HP is at 80% or lower. This is fantastic for overall team damage, especially since we only need to get enemies to 80% HP to trigger the bigger debuff. Like his third trace, this has no duration and is automatically continuous. E2, Knock where Sneakers Echo. Increases maximum gluttony stacks to 18. Also, every time Ashveil triggers an enhanced follow-up attack, he refunds 35% of the consumed gluttony stacks. This is great for spamming additional damage. Instead of losing 4 stacks completely, he gets about 1 stack back, meaning each attack effectively only costs 3 stacks. E4, Heat Truth needs no mastication. Ashveil gains a 40% attack boost for 3 turns every time he uses his ultimate. Uses for his personal damage, but sadly, it doesn't buff the team. For E6, Finale and then There Were None. Reduces enemies' ult-tap resistance by 20% when there's a baited enemy on the field. Also, for every gluttony stack Ashveil gains, his damage increases by 3%, stacking up to 30 times. This is absolutely broken guys, since the bait mark is essentially permanent, that 20% resistant penetration is always active. Plus, the damage increase per stack is extremely OP. Since earlier EIDOLONS makes getting stacks easier, hitting that max buff is a breeze. A 90% damage increase is no joke guys. This basically lets Ashveil function as a top tier main DPS. Also, we can't forget to discuss his signature line cone, the Finale of a Line. This LC increases the user's critical rate by 18%, which is huge and super helpful for hitting 100% crit, especially since Ashveil doesn't get critical rate from his minor traces. The other effect is solid. After every 4 follow-up attacks, Ashveil gains Umbra Devourer for 3 turns. This buffs his attack by 40% and inflicts a 12% defense reduction on all enemies. A 12% defense shred is pretty decent, especially if you're running frequent attackers like Feixiao, Aventurine, or even Tribi. It's the same number as the resolution shines as Pearls of Sweat Nahili DLC, but this lasts for 3 turns, which is way better. The only downside is the ramp up. You need to launch 4 follow-up attacks before triggering the effect, so you won't feel the full power right at the start of the battle. Alright guys, that's it for the full kit of Ashveil. What do you think about him? Are you planning to pull him in version 4.1? Please leave any comments down below and don't forget to check out my other videos because there are no less cool. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video.